Hey, you! You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed because you're an untouchable success. To support us and gain access to great exclusive shows like our brand new Supernatural watch-along Himboos, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. You'll also get your lucky little mitts on hundreds of episodes of our other exclusive shows like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, Spiel Boys, and the complete series of Fox Mulder is a Maniac. We do movie nights, game streaming, regular mini-series and surprise shows, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want, within reason. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain by heading to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed. Probably don't need help with that word.
There's nothing in the rule book, Tom.
Nothing in the rules that says a donkey can't play football.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
My name is David Bell.
My name is Tom Ryman.
And we just watched Gus.
Goose.
Sug. Donkey Ball.
Yeah, Donkey Ball.
They should have called it that.
Welcome to the NFL.
You okay, kid?
Oh, yes, sir. My brother does it all the time.
Okay. Now I want you to see that mule kick this ball.
Why didn't they?
Before we get started, a big old thank you to the Wells Fargo wagon is a plunging off a cliff.
Thank you.
From the Music Man, supposedly.
Allegedly. We'll never know.
We'll never know. Yeah, thank you so much, Wells Fargo wagon, because seriously, this in the holy hell,
watched. This movie. I like that Disney's been doing the Air Bud thing for this long.
I know. I always love it when you find trash like this from the 70s and you're like, okay, good. We were always making it.
Just real meaty hog shit like this.
Yeah, this needed to be watched, but I didn't enjoy watching it for the most part. This was 90 minutes long, which surprised me because I thought I aged a million years.
Right. It felt like I was watching the extended version of The Godfather.
Yeah.
Like The Godfather coda.
It's one of those premises where 40 minutes in, I was like, and we're done, right?
We're done, right?
There's nothing more that needs to be said.
We're at the Super Bowl. How is there 30 more minutes left?
Yeah.
And we're at the because Tom Bosley and Tim Conway are going to kidnap Gus for 20 minutes.
They're trying to chase him around a supermarket.
That refuses to throw any of them out.
Yeah, all right. The
Tom
supermarket
Bosley's
appears to be
climbing on the aisles covered in ketchup and mustard. There's a donkey running loose.
It's like the back rooms or something where people in the supermarket don't seem to be aware of the donkey in the supermarket.
Yeah, it's like they can't see it.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like, how big is the supermarket? Is word not getting around of the mule? There's a giant birthday cake.
Yeah.
Or wedding cake. There's a giant cake.
It's like a real
cake. For some reason. There's a plate stacking display. Gee, I wonder what's going to happen to the plates. It's, oh my God.
Yep. As soon as the fussy shopkeep gets finished dusting them, yep, they go right into those plates, Betty.
You know how supermarkets sell display plates? Fine china.
You know how they have just not even 10-foot tower cake? Like a real cake?
Cake day.
Just in the middle of the store.
They barely try to justify it. There's like a bunch of old ladies with plates, so presumably there was like an event happening.
Right, but
it was like samples.
Yeah.
It's dream logic.
Yeah. Listen, it's a movie about a donkey kicking field goals.
Yes. For people who didn't know, Gus is a mule. I don't know if there's a difference between a mule and a donkey. They call it a mule who kicks field goals from Yugoslavia.
Yeah, I bet Ace Ventura
Yugoslavian
would really have his way with us. He'd really call us bigots.
Yeah. It's the original Air Bud.
It is, truly.
I have a question for you, Tom.
Yes.
Is this a real loophole? Because there's multiple movies about this loophole that the rule books technically don't state that a human player has to be on the team, that it can be any species.
No, but this is actually I don't know. But I feel like I mean, this is like a $1 billion organization. So it would it's like Jerry Jones or some fucking coked up maniac that owns one of these $1 billion money printing teams in the NFL would have had this thing's head cut off before they allowed it.
I was thinking either that or someone would have done it by now for real.
Right?
Because I was like, is this a real loophole? Because if it is, why hasn't it happened?
Right. If it is, I'm putting a bear on the Chicago Bears.
Yeah. It's right there in the name. Can't change the name.
That's my center.
Yeah.
Yep. Tackle that.
Yeah.
We're having trouble getting him to hike the ball, but
there's just
it's
so this movie makes a big promise because it's Don Knotts in this movie.
The cast of this movie is out of its mind. This movie in general is out of its mind.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't sound as crazy as it is, but we're going to sell it to you. Trust me.
Because again, they didn't know what to do, so they just a lot of tap dancing, which was insane. Ed Asner's in there. Ed Asner as Bob Hoskins.
Ed Asner's in there.
Yeah,
because this movie is also Major League. Bob Hoskins has a bet with two other Dick Van Patten and some other unlikable rich guy about like all he has to do is win 7 we're getting ahead of ourselves. I'm sorry, Dave.
I know. Overall impressions, I guess let's start with, which I will say that for a movie with Don Knotts and Ed Asner about a goal-kicking mule, it's not wacky. It's not nearly as wacky as I thought, and it felt weirdly depressing at times. The movie feels dark. There's a dark, almost like a millennial era darkness I felt in this movie. Like Don Knotts, you're expecting like, oh, wacky Don Knotts. He's a surprisingly grounded character in this, I thought. He's still kind of silly.
Right. He's still basically Don Knotts, but he's also not in it that much. Like I looked up the director. This makes a lot of sense. It's a television director.
Okay.
Because I know what you're talking about. The moment, every comedic moment plays way too long. So,
yes.
So it just, like, it becomes like almost this anti-comedy. Like,
right, and the characters are weirdly like
yes,
grounded. Like they just seem like real people.
So, but they do these broadly wacky things in these takes that play for too long, like they linger for too long, so it just makes everyone come off as deranged.
Yes, and it makes the world weird.
Yes.
Because there's some things that I was like, is that a joke?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yes. There's a lot of, I would argue, like pre-Simpsons jokes. Like this could have been a Simpsons episode.
Yeah, like there's
where Bart
like,
gets a donkey.
Part of it is like I can't tell, because I guess you need to have like seen it when it came out in 1976 and understand like the full context of it. But some of it is like I can't tell if this was like a full-on spoof, because like some of it seems like this could be genius or total accident.
Some of it could be like Zucker style, like spoof. But like for example, a lot of the jokes are kind of punctuated with like slide whistle shit or like this is a joke, and so that's why things like, for example, Tom. Is it a joke that he brought the mule on the plane? Because it's not played as a joke in the shots and in the edit. That is a joke. And I have to assume they knew it was a joke. But like the way they shoot it, he's just Andy, our main character, is just on the plane. And they pan to show the mule also on the plane. Yeah. And then he's in the airport and he's just with the mule.
Yeah.
And
he just
everybody...
brought the mule.
Right, and nobody calls attention to it. They don't do any like wah shots of it or anything. The mule's just kind of there, and so like he's just another character. And I'm like, yeah, surely that's a joke, but I don't know, man. Pre-TSA, maybe things were crazy. I'm
Your
pretty sure they know it's a joke.
Smaller than a donkey.
Yeah,
it had to be smaller than a beast of burden.
Yeah.
My favorite well, just real quick about our main character, like
Andy,
Andy, he's the most unlikable dude. Like, did you get that?
Yes.
Like he's every scene he seems like a serial killer who is in a panic. Like every scene he feels like he's nervously about to be discovered.
Yes. So this is I think the rule of this, and I haven't watched Air Bud, but I assume this is my quote. In a world where Mule is king, mankind has been defeated. And I guess what I mean is that this whole movie is about what I guess is a pro football team.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like one at first. And I was like, is this college? But they go all the way to the Super Bowl.
No, it's a fake team. This is incredible. Like this movie feels like a TV movie. We identified why. It's directed by a television director, so there are these long takes that sort of play too long. It has the rhythm of a TV show. It doesn't have the pace of a movie.
Yeah, they can't afford a crowd. So
no, they can't afford a lot.
Yeah, every football scene looks like an SNL sketch. You know what I mean?
Yes,
where it's
really tight shot on the field, and you can see 6 players, like total, not 6 on each team, 6 total. Yeah. But like, I guess this is also the 70s, so maybe the NFL license was way less expensive back then. But like, their other teams are real. Like, our main team is the California Atoms, but they're playing like the Packers.
Right.
They're playing all of these real teams. But the only time we see them really play real teams is when they get their asses kicked by them.
Which,
I think,
at least they did that for them.
The team they play in the Super Bowl is a fake team.
Yeah. Because it feels like they knew. I guess that's what I mean, is that this is a story about a mule who wins the Super Bowl eventually. He goes on to bring a team all the way to the Super Bowl, and they, in the town, I guess the state, are the teams that go to the Super Bowl represent major cities usually. They're pretty regional.
Usually, yeah.
The area of
California
this
has multiple, New York has multiple, several states have multiple.
But it means that this mule has also won the hearts and minds of America, and at the same time has made all the lives around this mule better. And what that means is that everyone and everything has to start at rock bottom, right? Like when your team needs a mule to come in to save the team, you are the worst team in the world,
right,
to start.
They remain the worst team in the world at the end of the film, too, because the team around Gus does not get any better. Like, their victory strategy, their winning strategy is to just get Gus on the field because he can kick a ball 100 yards with perfect accuracy. So no matter where he is on the field, he can kick a field goal. So that's it.
Right.
The only points they score are field goals kicked by Gus through the entire film.
Right.
Until the very end.
Fact that was allowed, and the fact that wins means that every other team is also the worst team in the world. This movie felt like post-Depression era, because like there's even a shot where the news anchor is talking about how Gus has brought like light into everybody's lives and made life worth living, and they cut to a bar and all these people cheering, and they're all dressed like cartoon hobos.
Yeah.
And it was like, what happened? Is this post-apocalyptic? Is this movie take place? Is this like Interstellar, where sports don't really matter anymore? It felt like that. It felt like something really bad.
It's shitty.
Yeah.
Corn sucks. We're not playing sports anymore.
And then Andy is, of course, the biggest, worst loser of them all.
Andy sucks out loud, man. He sucks so hard.
For people who haven't seen this, Andy sucks so bad that his own family refuses to praise him, and never. So like they do a satellite interview with his family after he's become a star.
One of my favorite moments in any Disney film.
Yeah, and his dad uses this time and this money used for it to go, Andy's not who anybody can hold a ball.
So
he's a decent farmer, but he's nothing special.
He calls him a finger. Because the kid's like, why are you celebrating? What is he? How is he a hero? Because the newscast, your son Andy's a hero. He's like, he's not a hero. He's a finger. What is he? A finger. You're celebrating a finger.
Yes.
He's just a finger that holds the ball. Gus kicks the ball. Gus is the hero.
It's literally like the joke stand-up comedians do if they get heckled and they go like, "Oh, thanks, Mom." It's that. He is Andy's biggest heckler is his actual father in this. But when they get to the Super Bowl, he still isn't proud of his son, and the movie leaves it there. They never wrap it up. The whole time you're like, I'm waiting for the point where the father finally goes, I'm proud of you, son. Never happens.
They show him cheering after Andy scores a touchdown.
Okay, that's the best they get.
It's the most clown fuck touchdown, buddy.
It is.
What a treat. What a cinema treat. What a thrilling sequence.
Andy is very annoying, but this is why I called it millennial, because he is the most millennial character in that everything is working against him. Nobody likes him, and he works so hard to score a single goal, and by the end he has broken things, he is covered in mud, and that's all he gets. And to the point that he has a crisis at one point when he learns that he's even replaceable as a finger.
He gets cucked by
other
Gus.
people. Yes. Gus.
He gets cucked by his own love interest.
Yes. Gus, someone else is the finger that holds the football for Gus, and Gus is like, this was always an option. Andy is expendable. I'm the real star. Gus, I feel like Gus, like, the Wikipedia does more work for the film than the film does. It explains that Gus has been exhausted from his adventure and misses the kick at the ending. I think Gus was like, Andy really needs a W here.
That's like 100% what it was. The movie is clear on that.
Yeah,
because the last thing that happens is Debbie, the love interest. It's actually a love rectangle because it's Debbie, Gus, Andy, and Dick Butkus.
Yeah. I want to talk about that.
You want to talk about Dick Butkus? But anyway, so Debbie says to Gus at the very end, she says, "Slipped, huh, Gus?" And then Gus looks at the camera and winks, and then it says, "Well,
You're right.
Picture." Yeah, he fell on purpose. But also, if he hadn't have fallen, Dick Butkus was going to block the field goal.
Yes.
So he had to fall either way. But it was also like Andy needs a W.
Strategic. Yeah. It's a sad
he bonks it with his head. He bonks the football to Andy. He doesn't just fall. He passes it in a thrilling digital effect. I
know. Yeah, Andy's life is so sad that this mule is like, I really need to help this guy out. I feel so bad for this man.
It's watching Rudy if you hate Rudy.
Yes.
It's the experience of Andy's journey in this film.
Andy, the first thing he does is fall down a well within like a minute of the film.
First thing he does is fall off the bleachers at his brother's soccer game.
Oh, yeah.
That's before the well. That's the first thing he does.
He has one good line. It's when they bring him on originally and someone, I think, punches him in the gut and no one reacts except for, I think, Ed Asner goes like, "You okay?" And he's, "Yes, sir. My brother does it all the time." And everybody moves on.
It's Butkus.
That made me... Yeah, that was the only laugh I got that gave me.
He walks on the field and Butkus throws him a football and says, "Welcome to the NFL." Right. And it just busts the air out of his gut. But
Andy sucks.
Andy sucks. So, yeah, it's really... He's just such an unlikable character. It's like he's a slapstick character, so he does a lot of like pratfalling and stuff, and he's like supposed to be this aw shucks guy that we're rooting for. Then he gets cucked by a donkey.
Well, he's an asshole.
And he's so unlikable the whole movie, so it's just...
I want to talk about Rob, or Dick Butkus.
Dick Butkus, yeah, Rob.
So, they... and what's her name? Debbie?
Debbie.
Maybe I missed something because I definitely went into a fugue state several times while watching this movie.
I did have to back it up a few times.
Yeah, so the premise is that Andy and Gus... again, Andy has this football kicking mule that makes its way to Ed Asner, who thinks it's just the thing to make the halftime show possible.
Right. Like, he's so desperate. Ed Asner's the team owner. He's like, the team is garbage. So he's like, maybe if I get a good enough halftime show, I can sell some tickets. Like a ball kicking donkey is going to save my NFL team.
I wrote down that I do not understand the business of sports because I was like, is that how that works? Like, if your team is bad, do you have to get a good halftime show to make up? And I guess I genuinely don't know. I was like, are teams responsible for their own halftime shows? I guess they must be.
Who else would be?
Yeah, but then like when you go to the Super Bowl, it's like
I think that's the NFL.
Yeah, I assume that's the NFL. Again, and the whole time I was like, what is this? Because the first scene is like, it looks like a college team. Like everybody's like,
Yeah.
And so I was like, is this pro? And I figured it out. But yeah, so when they bring in Andy, he goes to, I forgot her name again. Debbie. And they're like, Debbie, you need to be Andy's handler because you know like Yugoslavian stuff.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, when that scene happens, Debbie is in her home, presumably, playing cards with Rob.
With Dick Butkus, yeah.
And they're very comfortable, and they're clearly an item. I thought they were married. I was like, oh, they're a married couple, I guess. They're in a house together, casually playing cards, which implies that they live there. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a date.
Yeah, they looked real comfortable, yeah.
Yeah, and they have a sandwich on the table, and like I was like, okay, they at least live together.
That's a very cozy date. No, I see what you're saying. That seems much more like idle time that a couple is spending together, rather than like these two are dating and getting to know each other.
Right, she's taking a phone call. It really feels like these people have lived in this relationship.
Yeah.
And then Andy has the hots for her. And then he's like, you want to go on a date? And she's like, oh, I have a date with Rob. Which, again, I'm like, okay, date with your husband. That makes sense. And then he's like, oh, shucks. And so Gus, the wingman, pretends to be sick.
The wing ass.
And so it's like, oh, no, Gus is sick. I need to cancel my date. She cancels her date.
She immediately says, I need to cancel my date with Rob. Like she was looking for a reason to throw that date away.
Right. Then they do a time wipe, and the doctor's like, nothing wrong with Gus. And Gus is like, nudge, nudge. And that's when Andy's like, well, so how about that date? I figure once you cancel dates with someone, they stay canceled. There's something about her date with Rob.
Yeah, she says a dinner date when dinner is canceled, it's canceled. And she's like, I guess you're right.
And then she just goes to the drive-in
we cut to Rob
Andy
coming home, and he's like, man, I stood there for 2 hours. She stood me so we learned that she didn't call, she just left him there.
Right, it's like
she
she's
didn't call to tell him the date was canceled.
Yeah, it's like she just went with whatever shiny objects in front of her at any given moment. But to me, I interpret that whole thing as, oh my God, he just stole like this man's he just home wrecker.
He sabotaged this relationship, yeah.
Right. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Rob's abusive. Maybe she was begging to leave this relationship. But they treat it so casually of her like, oh, okay. I was like, wait, is Rob just a casual suitor? Like, because they were sitting in a kitchen together like they had been married.
Right. Did he invite you over for cards and sandwiches?
Right. What was that scene? Because this, it's like either Andy has just butted into this established relationship and Debbie just immediately was like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Or that was the date, and both are crazy.
Right.
And I still don't know.
Both possibilities.
Right, because one possibility explains why Rob is so mad at Andy.
I mean, yeah, either would, I'd think. Because, I get why Rob's mad. Because first, this dickhead comes in here. He's this clown carnival act. He's turned your football team into a carnival act. And now he's snatched your lady friend to boot. Like, I was never not on Rob's side.
Yes.
Every time he tackled Andy, I was like, yes, hit him again.
Yes. Kill him. Kill him. I was also rooting for Gus to kill
Andy.
people.
Yes. Because people keep getting behind Gus. And I'm like, Gus, now's your chance. This is your one move as a donkey.
I know. Kick his head. Make a field goal with his head
off.
Kick Andy's head clean off.
He kicks Dick Butkus through the uprights.
Yeah. So I guess I want to talk about Ed Asner's journey because that's a whole other thing.
That's a whole other storyline. We haven't even gotten to the cheerleaders.
No, we haven't. Oh my God. The credits. The
fucking
credits alone,
are
it was like the movie forgot it was doing the credits and kept starting the scene and going oh right, the credits. We got to finish the credits.
Yeah. It's the most disjointed.
6 minutes.
I know. It's the weirdest credit sequence. It's so weirdly paced. So disjointed.
It is. Yeah, basically it's Ed Asner watching how shitty his team is while the credits occasionally
It'll
continue.
freeze on random parts of the game film.
Yeah. And it was like a jump scare at times where it kept lulling me into the scene and then being like,
And then be like, now it's time for...
and then it's like... So then we got, the cheerleaders, which Ed Asner, which I was like, okay, I could be on his side. And then all he talked about was how old the cheerleaders were. And I'm like, all right, well, I don't like you.
The Adamants.
Ed Asner. He's like a scummy guy.
He really is. Like, he's not likable at any point.
No. Again, it didn't feel children's movie because the characters felt very adult.
Yeah, everybody feels real scummy.
Yeah, it felt Slapshot-esque. The characters felt like scumbags, like in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, like Tom Bosley and Tim Conway later get boosted out of jail to kidnap this donkey, but not kidnap him. First, they're just fucking with him.
Yeah, okay. So Ed Asner makes a bet.
Place, yeah.
Well, Ed Asner makes a bet where I forget why he makes this bet. It's a crazy bet where he's like, I'll bet you my team can win half of our games, and if I lose, you can buy the team at whatever price you want because I'm desperate.
Yeah.
I believe that's the bet.
More or less, yeah. He's so thrilled by Gus's kicking ability that he thinks, and at this point he's not considering using Gus to kick field goals. He's just like, this halftime show will boost the morale of my team enough that they will turn around and win 7 games. And as Dave and I already stated, going to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl does not boost their morale enough to turn them into a better team. They are still the same shitty team they were.
Yes, they barely have an identity in this.
Yeah, it's incredible. Anyway.
They're nothing without Gus.
Yeah, it's really just Gus's team.
Yeah. So then, then the halftime rehearsal. I have to note that when the band falls apart, the band music keeps going in the shot. Just, again, this is like real shoddy film, shoddy stuff.
It feels like such a I had the thought, boy, I bet this was a streaming film.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, no,
it is that.
It's like 1976.
But it is that. It's the Disney. I wrote, imagine sitting in a theater for this. Imagine buying a ticket, making this your day, and watching this.
It does kind of feel like maybe like a Wonderful World of Disney movie. Like if it was a movie that they had made to air on television, then released it theatrically.
Poor reviews.
It made $25 million.
Oh my fucking God.
I know.
It's like, God. I mean, I know what kind of movie this is. This is like when I watch like a shitty kids movie, like the Minecraft movie, and then learn that it made $1 billion. And I'm like, why though? It's that where you're like, fuck, man, this is nonsense.
Really? The donkey? The donkeys? Yeah. This captured your imaginations, huh?
Yeah. So he makes that bet, and then when the other guy that he makes the bet with realizes, oh no, this mule might take him all the way to the Super Bowl. Oh no, this mule is winning. He hires 2 of the lowest lowlives ever to be like, I want you to sabotage this mule. And boy, they can't even do that. I must have written 10 times in my notes, can we not just shoot the mule?
Just kill the mule, yeah. Just kill it.
Yeah, because, listen, I think that'd be fucked up, but legally speaking, it's on par with the other stuff they do. Like, shooting a mule is not legally, that severe.
Right. It's not like if the kicker were a human, for instance. Yeah. Different story.
Yeah, and I wouldn't personally kill a mule.
No. But these guys,
why aren't they killing that mule?
Right.
Just pop him in the head and you're done.
If you're the type of guy to make this bet and then boost these 2 guys out of prison to goon your way to victory, I feel like shooting the donkeys on the table.
Yeah.
Just shoot the donkey.
So much easier.
Why are you doing all this wackiness?
They had a lot of money riding on it too. The first thing they did, it resulted in the donkey pulling the car.
Yeah, they
pretended to be a van.
They do successfully fuck up enough games for him. Like the first thing they do is they pretend to be the service that drives him to the game, and it's Tim Conway, and he just gets them lost and they miss the game. And then the next thing they do is get him drunk.
Well, they get a fake mule head, which implies that they killed another mule to do this.
Oh, yeah.
They get a fake mule head to distract the guards, that there are now guards around this very important mule.
Yeah. He's the most famous mule in America.
Yeah. Ed Asner basically realizes he needs to have like a unit on Gus. I don't know why you can't call the cops about this either, but whatever. He's just like, I have to protect the mule because this guy's trying to thwart me. And so they use a fake mule head to make the guards think that Gus got away so that they leap into cacti,
A lot of them
so that
face
they can
first.
sneak in. Yes. I don't know what they thought they were going to do to the mule that they thought was there.
Bite
but
him.
Yeah. And
Anyway,
then
those guys lost eyes.
Yeah, they'd never be the same.
Dive into a cactus patch. Don't do that.
And then he spikes Ed's oats, and then
Gus.
Or gut.
Nobody
Gus.
spikes
Ed's
Ed
a different one.
Asner's oats.
Yeah.
He drinks his oats straight from the bottle.
And then Gus, I thought he was going to kick the mayor's head off or kick the mayor to death.
Yeah.
Because the mayor shows up and Gus accidentally like scoops up the mayor because he's drunk.
Yeah, and he gallops
I want
around.
him-
We get the
Yeah.
cheerleader joke again. The running gag with the cheerleaders is that they're bad.
They're bad.
They're bad.
Which is, I don't know. They make a pyramid, and I'm like, I couldn't make a human pyramid.
They do they get their human pyramid knocked over, I think 14 times in this movie. They just keep doing that gag. Oh, what's gonna happen?
Yep.
And then they swap Gus with a different donkey that they paint. And that's when they take Gus into their hotel room with them, and Gus decides to sleep in the bed with Tim Conway.
Yep. And then Gus escapes because Gus is
Because they're watching the football game on the television, and every time Andy issues his command, his sorcerer's donkey spell, Gus is like, I must kick.
Yep.
And he kicks himself free, and that's when they chase him through downtown Los Angeles and into a grocery store that refuses to throw any of them out.
Right. There's like a philosophical question of what is Gus, and what I mean is that is he but a robot of flesh and bone that simply knows when to kick when someone says kick?
When someone says,
or is there more to him? Because he seems to be at times the smartest entity in the movie.
He's God in some moments.
Yeah. Oh God, I forgot when. Probably, maybe the saddest moment is when Andy gets creamed while helping his team win with his ball kicking mule and says, "I did it all for you, Papa."
And kisses Ed Asner.
Yes, and then they carry him off in a stretcher, and then carry him back in on a stretcher to service the mule.
To hold the ball for the mule, because he's still got to win, man.
Yeah,
that's one of the times Butkus obliterates him, and I cheered.
Yeah. Yeah. So then, fucking Christ. So yeah, so Gus's arc is that what we just said is that Gus gets Gus napped, mule napped, put in a hotel room, and then we get no joke about 20 minutes of let's watch a series of bits.
Yeah,
in a supermarket.
They speedrun Mouse Hunt with a donkey in a supermarket.
Yeah. There's lobster tank where the lobsters clamp onto him the moment he goes in.
Tomatoes, lassos. Tom Bosley says lasso in a very funny way.
Oh, yeah. There's multiple bits where someone pisses off a really large man. That's a classic bit.
One of them's Jaws, Richard Keel. Yeah. It's it's like the one dude who you could get to tower over Dick Butkus, and they still had to have Richard Keel standing on something.
Yeah.
Because he rips open the top of the convertible. Like they have Dick Butkus do a Richard Keel thing. Like he goes to the drive-in movie to find Andy and Debbie, and he's like, oh, there they are. Get out of there. I know you're in there. And he rips the top off the convertible because he's fucking Dick Butkus. And then it's Richard Keel inside, and he stands up, but he's still inside the car, so it gives him an extra, 2 feet.
Yeah.
Because Butkus was a huge guy, too. But
and then in the grocery store they do, I think this woman's heel is a horse hoof.
Yes.
And then her
different
husband boyfriend. Yeah. And
Tim Conway says one of my favorite lines in the entire movie. when the guy grabs him by the collar and pulls him, he grabs him by the collar and pulls him up to his face, and then he's going to throw him through the air. But when he grabs him by the collar and pulls him close, Conway goes, "I'm sorry, am I in your way?"
Yeah. Solid.
They're great.
Yeah.
If you watch them, they do little, like, one of the hardest things I laughed at was in the first bit where he kidnaps, where they're disguised as like the service that comes to pick up Gus, and they're kidnapping him, and he's getting him lost by, he's like, "Oh, I've got a shortcut," and he's looking at his map. But the establishing shot of that scene is them driving down this road, and he's looking at the map, and Conway's doing he's doing the hand signal for turn signals.
Right.
It was just a really odd,
it was
funny
good.
choice
Good
to do.
Performance, yeah.
Like, there's a bit in the supermarket when they run past and knock over all the balls. Like, he stops and takes up a single box of cake mix and puts it back on the wall.
That was solid. They're the stars,
they're great, yeah.
man.
They're the stars.
And this sequence is like again, 20 minutes. It's like they slowly die in this sequence. Like, it's like watching the beginning of Gravity, where it's like this slow burn, where everything gets catastrophically wrong. By the end, they are just covered in shit and piss and blood, and like they look like a mess. Like, they say they get arrested at the end, and I'm like, I don't think so. I think they're dead of
they're at the
internal
rock
bleeding.
pile. Bob Gale's in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Bob Gale and Johnny Unitas. They're doing the best in show bit, basically. Bob Gale's pretty fucking funny in this, too.
They're intense, yeah.
Is that right, Bob Gale? Am I saying? Because that's also the the actor from Hogan's Heroes is the guy I'm thinking of. Bob Gale, I think it might be the Back to the Future writer.
They turn on Gus the moment he doesn't show up.
They do.
They're like, "Gus is a fraud. I fucking knew it. Fuck Gus."
How dare they?
Yeah.
They're very fickle fans.
Yeah.
I'm looking this up. Bob Crane. I'm so sorry. Bob Crane. Hogan from Hogan's Heroes. He plays Pepper Pot.
Yes.
You heard from Pepper. Is that right, Johnny? That's right.
They're great.
Him and Johnny Unitas. Johnny Unitas is in this movie.
Yeah, this movie is filled with a bunch of funny guys
and football players
who look like they're going to be dead in 5 years.
It's a lot. It's a
sense?
lot of people you recognize from comedies, from TV comedies specifically, from like the 40s through the 60s.
Yeah.
His main guy was Ronnie Shell, I think is the actor's name, but he's the guy that first tells Ed Asner about the donkey. Like,
right.
That guy's another big comedy guy from TV. Anyway,
yeah.
Sorry.
It's all vaguely recognizable old guys.
Dick Van Patten's there. We already mentioned.
And again, we're not even talking about Don Knotts because I assumed. Like, did you assume baseline level expectations there would be a scene where Don Knotts accidentally rides the mule and goes like, "Whoa," or like has to grapple with the mule or something? I don't know if he has scenes with the mule.
Barely.
Like, he doesn't. Yeah.
I don't think he does. I don't think they actually. Oh, no, I'm not going to share the screen with that son of a bitch. There's my expectation was seeing the premise of this film and the cast list, and specifically the order of the cast list. It's Ed Asner, then Don Knotts. So I assumed the thrust of this movie was going to be Don Knotts wackily coaching a donkey,
right?
While Ed Asner grumbles at him. Like, that's gold.
The cover, by the way, that I'm looking at,
right? I've seen
number one, doesn't have Andy in it.
Nope.
It is just a really bad Photoshop, although they did add shadows at least, of Don Knotts inches away from the face of the mule screaming while holding a clipboard. And if you notice in the background, there's a single other character, and it's, what's her name? Debbie.
It's Debbie. Sweet.
Yeah. Looking backwards, dressed as a football player. And I'm like, wait.
That happens at the very end.
I think that's Debbie. It's not. Yeah. And so, like, it's just clear that they were like, okay, listen.
Nobody that wasn't at the very end. That's when he gets cucked.
Yeah.
That's when she has to run out.
Let's get a lady on the cover. Also, the field in the background. Look at the field in the background of the cover. It just goes on into a sea of nothing.
It's just an
It's like
abyss.
they're in heaven.
The original poster is kind of rad.
Yeah, I assume what I'm looking at is probably like the DVD,
It's the DVD
release
cover.
or the VHS.
Yeah, for sure. You guys can
where
probably...
some intern threw it together.
You guys should definitely look this thing up. It's pretty thrilling. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just goes on forever.
It does. It's endless football field. This is Don Knotts
We're
in
dead.
heaven.
We've died. We've died.
Yeah.
Whoa! You can hear him screaming off of that thing.
The end of Gus's arc is that he's airlifted from the supermarket to the Super Bowl. They touch down, like they land on the field, and I was like, that seems like this is a stop. Also, the Super Bowl waited. Everybody realizes it's a fake donkey, and they stop the Super Bowl, which I would argue is fair. Like if you learn that one of the players was kidnapped and replaced by a doppelganger,
they don't stop.
You would go.
They stopped the Super Bowl. They stopped the Super Bowl for the helicopter to land.
No, I thought they stopped it when they realized that Gus. It's hard to tell because of the way time is. Andy realizes that Gus isn't Gus in the Super Bowl, and then the announcers even are like, "Oh my God!" and everybody seems to know, and that they all get in a helicopter and go look for Gus.
That's right.
And then they airlift him back in, and nothing has happened in the game in that time. So I have to assume.
Well, the other team has a pretty substantial lead. Gus has I think they stop it at the half, right? And then because Gus has 2 quarters to try and catch them up.
Yeah, I would argue if I was a ref, I'd be like, no, we're not stopping so you can find your mule. I don't know why there's even a mule here.
Yeah, you know what you know what happens when a starting player doesn't show up?
Yeah,
backup plays that day. Isn't that what happens? Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine betting on this?
No,
a sports
that's
better?
What I'm telling. That's what I'm.
I would
that's what
hang myself.
That's what I was telling you at the beginning. This fucking thing would be dead, man. The mob would not let this stand.
Yeah,
everyone involved.
Right. So they airlift in the mule.
They'd be breaking Ed Asner's thumbs to make him sell this team.
I wanted the ending to be like The Last Boy Scout, and the mule just shoots someone, but
into the helicopter.
The mule, yeah.
You know, did you notice they airdropped a real mule? They made sure we saw that it was a real donkey being lowered in a real helicopter.
And I know exactly what was going through that donkey's mind during shooting it. It was saying, "Ah! Oh my God! Oh my God! What is this?"
It looked so disinterested, so I assumed it was just so high. Yeah, they just barely alive, like it barely has a heartbeat.
Another amazing journey for that donkey. It's just like, whoa. Everything's so small.
We haven't
that
even
donkey
mentioned
saw God.
Oh, yeah, he did. We haven't even mentioned that where Conway and Tom Bosley fucking kidnap Andy. They kidnap Andy for a whole stretch in the hospital. Right. Remember? There's hospital antics.
Yes, there's that X-ray was a cool idea. That was a cool.
Yeah,
it was
the whole
a weird
X-ray animation. Yeah, Disney likes to do that shit. In this time, they would
because they make animation.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, they would find ways to do animation hybrids into their live action movies, like Bedknobs and Broomsticks and Pete's Dragon, and there's a bunch of others. And that was a cool sequence
Andy
to do
hides
an animated
the X-ray machine.
Yeah.
And the X-ray is animated. I like the bit with the cat.
Yeah,
where he's holding the cat, and then they show the cat freaking out on the 2 guys and the cat freaking out.
It's the Total Recall
grabbing his face. It is,
2 skeletons fighting behind an X-ray, and then skeleton cat jumps on skeleton Tom Bosley's head. It's a fun bit. It's pretty cool.
So they briefly say, okay, the mule is getting the better of us, so let's kidnap the man who sucks. Andy has a whole arc where he also, like I said, he gets cucked, and then he's like gonna leave.
Yeah,
and he's like,
I'm gonna return to Yugoslavia.
Yeah, it's so sad. And then Debbie has to give him a pep talk basically and find him. Yeah. And then he just goes back. Yeah. And it was like, we didn't need. Again, the movie could be an hour 20. It's like an hour 30 something, and I'm like, make it an hour and 10.
Cut 15 minutes off of this easy. Also, this actor.
Dumbo was short.
Yeah, we don't need all this. The actor playing Andy has no idea what a Yugoslavian accent sounds like.
No. Would you be surprised to learn he didn't act again?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he thought Yugoslavia was Italy. Like I think he thought it was an Italian accent.
Yeah, he's doing a thing, and the thing it didn't feel correct.
He's like, "Oh,
I didn't bother to look it up."
It's like, what is that voice? Sorry.
No. I love at the end, by the way, right before the kick, they do close up of the mule's eyes and Andy's eyes looking at each other.
Yeah.
Another thing that was like, I can't tell if they know that's funny or not.
Oh man, I kind of love this movie.
Andy's arc is, my dad will never love me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a finger. I'm not even a finger. I can be replaced.
Banana to this donkey.
And then he's right. And then at the end, the donkey is like, here, have a little win.
The donkey hands him a touchdown.
Ekes it out. He barely makes it.
He has no idea how to hold a football. He's holding it like in front of him, like he's holding a turkey. You got to tuck that shit, dude.
And he's like sniveling while he runs. He runs like a villain who has the MacGuffin. He's like,
I truly don't understand his performance. He looks terrified in every scene.
Yeah.
Like that's his energy in every scene is you're about to discover my basement full of children parts.
Yes. And yeah, it's not charming.
No,
like,
it's not charming at all. It does not come off as charming or endearing. It's Norman Bates.
You mentioned The Simpsons. He's like a Milhouse. He's a Milhouse type where he's like pathetic in a funny way, but you're not. But you're not like, oh, everybody leave him alone. You're just like, yes.
No, keep bullying that kid. Dick Butkus, hit him harder.
Yeah, because again, this whole thing where he steals Debbie, it's like he's kind of shitty too.
Yeah.
And so he never feels like sympathetic. He don't give him like a save the cat. He just whines. Like again, it opens with him falling down a well while playing soccer and then going, "Oh, I suck at soccer." And I'm like, I think it was the well. It doesn't matter. I don't like it's just whining.
Yeah.
Until this mule is like, "Here, asshole.
Here,
score a touchdown in the Super Bowl."
This. Well,
Saddest
Debbie and I
person in the
crush
world.
ass.
Yeah.
You here, run this into the end zone while Debbie and I make a centaur.
Yeah. It really does. Yeah.
Both in the child sense and the shadow puppet sense.
I really came out of this movie feeling depressed. Like it was a depressing world that they had put me in.
It was deranged. It was quietly deranged.
It was.
And sometimes very, very funny.
Yes.
And
but
I'm not sure if they intended it to
funny.
be. Yeah.
Yeah. There were a couple jokes I was like, good job.
That's good. Good
or
joke. Good
gags.
Good gag. Yeah.
Good effort. But the overall feeling, again, was like this griminess.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like there was a lot of these like Bad News Bears feels grimy when you watch it. Again, Slapshot, you watch Slapshot and you're like, I'm pretty sure this is for adults.
It is.
But yeah. Yeah, that was a little, more
Slapshot's R-rated and so is Bad News Bears, I think.
Oh, you're right. Slapshot I think it's got tits all over it too.
Yeah, it's got all sorts of profanity in there.
This movie could have had tits and I wouldn't have been surprised. I guess that's what I'm saying is it felt like a grimy enough world that if they suddenly cut to a nude scene, I go like,
and Gus the field goal kicking donkey.
Right. I just be like, oh, okay, I guess this is just for adults.
Yeah,
all
I guess
right.
we're just doing a tits movie now. Gus the titty mule.
Yeah.
Madness, this movie.
It was.
I don't have anything else to say about it.
No, I don't. Go watch Gus, folks.
I just sort of recommend you watch Gus.
If you like weird, bad movies and like artifacts,
it's truly
Gus
fascinating.
is it for you.
Yeah, it's really fascinating.
Probably watch it on our Friday night Patreon movie nights.
We might have to, yeah.
Yeah.
It is an incredible cast.
It is. So, yeah, speaking of our Patreon, another thanks to the Wells Fargo wagon is a plunging off a cliff.
Thank you.
For letting us discover Gus, a movie there is no way I would have seen.
There's no excuse for.
Yeah, and no excuse for it.
Yes. There's no justification for Gus.
Gus.
How
so
dare
this
you.
was through. This is through our Patreon, patreon.com/gamefully unemployed. You can have us do custom podcasts like this. Make us watch any movie, including Gus.
Especially Gus. Make us watch it a second time.
Please. And just for $5 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder's a Maniac, Star Trek The Next Futurama, Spiel Boys, and our newish supernatural podcast, Him Booze. And like I said, we watch movies every Friday night. We do that on our Discord with our patrons, so everybody can watch Gus together and hear us talk about it and chat about it in our Discord chat. It's a lot of fun. We watch 2 movies like a family, back to back. Check it out.
We hold hands digitally.
Yeah.
We also have a store.
Well, you hold hands digitally either way, Tom.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, bro. Now I'm the one who's just been donkey cucked. We also have a store. Head over to GamefullyUnemployed.com. You can find a link to our Teespring store. We have all kinds of cool original artwork by cool original artists like Michael Vincent Bramley, Starlene Hodge, Justin Brown, and others. So check that out. Please rate and review our podcasts wherever you're listening. Please check out our other show, Badical, Badical. Also, wherever you're listening. Do some other stuff. I don't know.
Try donkey meat.
Try donkey meat.
It's available, right?
Probably. They had to have a couple of takes where that donkey slipped right out of that harness. So, you know.
Yeah, they burned through
some
guesses.
donkeys on Gus. They're making a Gus. One of the donkeys blew his hammy kicking that field goal.
Yep.
Sorry,
26
pal.
donkeys died.
We fed them all to Butkus.
Hey, listen, our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can find him on twitter.com as the Corlew or go to shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our channel artwork is produced by Michael Vincent Bramley. For more of his work, go to mvbramley.art. Our episode artwork is by Justin Brown, available on Twitter as Justin T. Brown or at artnessbyjustinbrown.com. And finally, additional artwork is by Starlene Hodge. You can find her work at starlenearts.com or on Twitter as StarleneX. Cool. Goodbye.